Marti Gee On. I decided to change my name because I seem to be speaking on stuff quite a bit. This direction I'm going to start taking anyway, because I'm just talking on stuff. So I have a question. Yeah, you may have heard this, you may have not. Think about it. Impostor syndrome. Impostor syndrome. I started hearing about this a few years back. Been to webinars on it, spoken it a couple of times. Was in a, panel about it once upon a time. And it wasn't until recently when I started talking about role versus identity and some of the stuff I've been dealing with job searches and whatnot, that it really started striking me as I understand it now. Imposter syndrome. You get imposter syndrome when you pretend to be someone you're not, or you try to present yourself as somebody you're not, or you're overqualifying yourself for things that you have no idea what you're talking about. For example, I remember working in telecom for a little bit, and I used to crack up listening to sometimes working with some telecom reps, and they would just talk themselves in circles like they knew what they were talking about. And all it did was just confuse the customer. I was like, what are they talking about? I never did that. I would bring in an engineer, because I never, in all the years that I've done things at every place that I did, is I always would bring somebody that could speak on things that were outside of my wheelhouse. When I was a pharmaceutical rep, drug dealer, I would bring in psychiatrists and other healthcare professionals that could speak to a patient type versus me trying to pretend to talk to a patient type. And so I mentioned my buddy Scott on here because we've been friends for a while. And when I used to talk on this term, imposter syndrome, I used to have to kind of make up stuff because it just never really related to me. I couldn't really understand it. I couldn't wrap myself around it to really understand how to apply it to me. Something Scott has told me several times is that I'm authentic. Whether you love me or you hate me, I don't know a lot of people that can argue that fact. Marti is who Marti is. Marti is Marti. When I did radio, I think I've told some people I did radio for a bit. There were one point in time with the owner and the program manager, they pulled me aside and said they wanted to turn down my on-air personality. Right. Dude, I don't have an on-air personality. I'm Marti Gee all the freaking time, man. I ain't got no on-air personality. So, imposter syndrome, George Santos. Yeah, that's imposter syndrome. And then I started thinking about AI and job descriptions and people telling me to use the right words for the right things to game AI. Game AI. So basically, I would be rewarded for being a really good gamer of the system versus being authentic. Look, if you're an employer and you're counting on AI to screen people, make sure they fit the right qualifications, great. Anybody can make up stuff on a piece of paper to match what AI is scanning for. That does not give you who that person really is. I've learned so much as I started paying attention to these things. And again, I reach back to Scott and I thank him. And I thank you because my people, everybody that knows me, you know me, and I tell you, every single one of you that's in my nation, closer to me than some of my closest family members, you see what you get. I got nothing to hide. I put it all out there for you. Because I want you to know life is life. Everybody's got baggage. Everybody's got drama. You just got to own it and keep moving on. I'll help. best I can. And that's my first one. You want to beat imposter syndrome? Be authentic. That's all I got for you. Be freaking authentic. I think I'll leave it there. I'm out. See ya.
G Nation.